The gentleman from Richmond City, Ms. McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the amendments.
The gentlewoman has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Transportation may be important, but I don't want to take money away from our at-risk youth or shift $21 million in costs from the Commonwealth to our local governments. When the CSA, the Comprehensive Services Act for At-Risk Youth, became law in 1993, after many years of hard work by stakeholders, its purpose was to pool available resources to meet the needs of high-risk youth and their families in Virginia. The three budget amendments before you will have a significant impact on your locality. And as such, I ask you to carefully consider their costs. Here in the city of Richmond alone, the expansion of the client population required to be assessed and coordinated by the family assessment and planning teams. This expansion will, in essence, triple the caseload for the teams. During fiscal year 2010, our local CSA served 787 youth, and the language proposed in this budget amendment would require that children eligible for Medicaid-funded mental health rehabilitation services be considered a target population and be required to go through the local CSA. There are currently 216 mental health rehabilitation service private providers in the Richmond area. And if the youth currently being served by these private providers are required to go through the CSA for assessment and coordination, at best, the Richmond CSA client population would rise to over 2,400 clients, requiring at a minimum 2 additional full-time FAPT teams at a cost of $301,964 annually per team. The cost to the locality of this would exceed $1 million. We would also expand the local share of the costs of Medicaid services provided to any child living in a locality receiving mental health services through Medicaid. The average in-home case cost is $15,600. Richmond's share would be $2,308. The average therapeutic day treatment cost is $20,319. Richmond's share would be $3,007. So for the city of Richmond, an additional 1,600 clients for in-home cases would cost $3.7 million, which is currently paid for by the state. So for the city of Richmond, these three amendments would increase the cost to about $4.7 million in costs related to the CSA. I don't know how your localities would be affected, but I guarantee they will be impacted. And so for these reasons, I ask you to check with your locality before this budget becomes final to see how they're impacted. And I ask that you vote against these amendments.
Mr. Speaker.